Shalom, this is Yehudit Goldfarb from Spot. I'm in front of my ancient olive tree and my garden in Omer Count. And I want to share with you the movements for counting the seventh day of the Omer, which will come on Shabbat. So I'm doing the recording ahead of time. And I'm wearing colors for Malkhut, Shebach, Chesed. That's the seventh day is the level of Malkhut, of groundedness, sovereignty, centeredness. I call it the place where Hashem breathes us, because Malkhut is both the lowest of the end of the whole line of the Sephirot coming down, so it's passively receiving everything above it, but it's also the world of Asiya, of action. So it's action, it's this world as we live it. And when I asked myself, how can that be? I said, well, when I am breathing, Hashem breathes me. I am totally receiving Hashem's breath. And I can only act when I'm alive because I receive Hashem's breath. So I act with Hashem's breath. That to me is Malkhut. And I represent that in terms of movement by opening my feet from my grounded position, shoulder width apart, feet parallel, knees slightly bent and open. And I let Hashem breathe me for Malkhut. My hands are a little bit to the side and down. So practice is Malkhut is being breathed by Hashem. Just wait for the breath to come. Then we're still in the week of Hesed. We will be on Shabbat on the seventh day of the counting of the Omer, of this system of Otiyot Hayyot, as I call it, living letters. And on the seventh day, it's going to be Shabbat this week. And on the normal day for Shabbat is Malkhut, the normal Sephirot that goes with it. It is represented, I was going to mention earlier, in terms of color, in the rainbow system that I've been using for this particular count. I use Hesed as purple, and then the rainbow coming through, ending with the brown. That's as Rabbi Zalman Schachter Shalomi mentioned this system, and has rainbow talitot based on this. So I'm wearing brown from my blouse, and my skirt, which represents the week, is purple, and my head, which is Malkhut every week, is also another shade of brown. And I happened to find a necklace that was purple on the ground of brown. So it combines those colors. So let me show you the Hesed movement for those who haven't been doing it with me. Hesed is the Segol. Segol is when you have two dots and a third dot below that. And I use my mouth for that third dot. So that's where I'm going. Two dots with my hands above my head, and the third dot my mouth. So I'm going to start with my hands crossing in front, right hand outside, coming down, and going, ah. The open Segol sound. Because Hesed is openness. Ah. Abundance, loving kindness. Ah. Let's do one more together. Ah. And coming down. Hesed is the point at which you move between the intellectual and the emotional level of our being. And just as a little teaching about this, and the Nikudot and how they represent the Sephirot, Bina, which is right above Hesed, is just two dots side by side. And you leave yourself out of the picture for understanding. Then you put yourself in the picture. Ah, it's like the wow of including your emotional self in your beingness. And this is where the Sephirot count starts, with this including ourselves. It's all about how we are in the world, both with Hashem and with each other. So let's do the count ahead of time now for Shabbat, which will be the seventh day, and it will be Malkhut Shebach Chesed. So I'm going to take a breath, or let myself be breathed. I'm not going to take the breath. I let myself be breathed by Hashem, And then right after that, I'm going to do the movement for Hesed. And then I'm going to pause. And again, let myself be breathed and pause. 3 times, 3 combinations. One for the Nefesh level of soul, my enlivened level. One for the Ruach level, the emotional level. And one for my intellectual level and spiritual level for Neshama. So, starting with Nefesh level. Ruach level. Neshama's level. And the blessing is that all the incrustations, all the blockages in how we manifest in this world our loving kindness we be unblocked at all these levels. At least become aware of where the blockages are and pray for the clearing out of those blockages. So I bless you with a good Hag coming up for the 7th day of Pesach, and for Shabbat, that you have a really joyous Pesach for those outside of Israel, culmination Isru Hag for those in Israel, where we celebrate 7 days of Pesach, and just really get in touch with Malkhut of Hesed, the manifestation of Hesed in our lifetimes, of the loving kindness in your life, and tuning into that in my life. All the blessings. Good Shabbos!